This went on for several months. Ellen invited me to her house, to her parents' house for Thanksgiving. So I jumped on the motorbike, and I rode my bike for 2 hours to their house. I got over there. They sat around the table. They had this big old fat chicken in the middle of the table. And the father of the house prayed over the meal. I had never heard anyone pray over a meal. This was the first time I heard someone thanking God for something they hadn't eaten yet. People say, how do I do Muslim evangelism? Give me a formula. Here, shambala bimbala bambala boom, dang, you're done, Sen salabim, open up, I give you the secret. Friendship, friendship, friendship. The problem is, not too many of us got the time for one friendship, let alone friendship, friendship, friendship. One simple prayer was what broke the camel's back. Because his daughter and her friends had already laid the foundation. I heard that man pray, and that touched my heart. So on the way back, as I'm riding my bike, 70, 80 miles an hour, began to talk to God. Now, which God do you think I started to talk to? Thank you. Someone said Allah, or as we call it in Farsi, Khuda. It wasn't the Yahweh. I didn't know Yahweh from a hole in my head. I talked to only God I knew. How much theology do you think a man or woman should have before he or she can come to Christ? Thank you. Someone just flashed a gang sign at me. I think that means 0. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I thought she was saying, yeah. Orale. But we don't believe that. We don't realize this for so many of us who come from another side of the world, coming to Christ is a process. I began to pray to the only God I knew. And amazingly, as I'm doing 80 miles an hour, Jesus pops up. I said, God, look at me. I'm a Muslim. I follow Muhammad, Ali. I honest to God, I said at one church, I said, I follow Muhammad, Ali, Cassius Clay. And a guy walked up to me and said, wow, I didn't know you guys worship Cassius Clay. I said, oh, God. I said, Jesus, if you're really who these people tell me you are, I had no idea who Jesus was. In fact, everything I knew about Jesus was exactly the opposite of what the Bible teaches. Muslims believe Jesus was not divine. God does not have a son. And he never died on the cross. You know why? That's very shameful for an all-powerful God to allow a sinless man named Jesus to die on the cross. It's all a matter of honor. It's not because they just want to argue with you. So these are the 3 things I didn't believe in, or I believed in. Completely the opposite. Yet, I trusted my friends enough to say that if anyone could get me out of the mess I was in, it would be Jesus. Or why not give him a shot? I know some of you get offended with the way I just put it. But I had nothing to lose. I was about to kill myself. So Jesus, if you're really who these people tell me you are, I'll accept you. If you give me good grades at school. Oh, well, man, sir, you cannot make a deal with God. Oh, shut up. Let God decide that. Let him decide whether he wants to make a deal with a camel jockey or not. Yeah, I can call myself a camel jockey. Don't get offended. Turban head, camel jockey, terrorist, I've heard it all, and it doesn't bother me a bit. You know, if you look like a duck, quack like a duck. It could be from Oregon. So I was getting the plane right after 9/11, okay? And that was the time that they randomly would pull out names and go through everything you had. Here I am getting on the plane, you know, with a backpack, the way I look, and as they pull aside a 70-year-old white woman on wheelchair as God's my witness. They're going through everything she's got, and I am just getting on the plane, man, you know. I said, what are you going to find in her backpack, in her little thing in the back of her wheelchair? Couple of knitting needles? What's she going to do, knit an Afghan? I said, Lord, I said, Jesus, if you give me good grades, I'll accept you. That was my prayer. You know what? It took me 30 years. I have 3 minutes to finish it. Do you know? It took me 30 years to realize why I prayed the way I did. Why didn't I pray for him to forgive my sins? I didn't believe that. I didn't believe he had died on the cross, let alone died for my sins. I felt like I was living in hell. Why did I pray the way I did? Good grades bring back honor. See, Jesus Christ didn't just die for my sins, ladies and gentlemen. That's a Western part of the theology. There's nothing wrong with that. Jesus also died for my shame. He died to restore my honor. He died to take away my fear. And he died for my sins. We just stick to one side without understanding what other people's needs are. Let us approach people with what they need, not through what we think they should need. And this is how I came to the Lord.